Today we're going to talk about something really fun and something that I've been thinking about doing for a really long time, and that is growing microgreens. What I decided to do for my intro to growing microgreens is to order a kit. I ordered it from True Leaf. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't know if I have to say I'm not sponsored. I just see a lot of people do that, so that's why I say it. All right, so I just opened my microseed kit. I chose the sectioned hydroponic kit. I was actually looking for one with soil, but the one that I wanted was sold out. I think I just wanted soil because I'm a little more comfortable with that. However, I saw this hydroponic one and it was actually on sale, which was a plus. So I decided to go for it. What it comes with is 2 growing trays. We have a water testing kit, so you can test your water to see if it's alkaline or acidic. Directions. These are the sectional portions where you'll put the pads in. The growing pads, which are, I believe, made of bamboo. And then we have a spray bottle, so you can spray your seeds, and of course, our seeds. So that's another reason I wanted to start with a kit, just to get a nice smattering of seedlings and figure out what I like, what my family likes, and so on and so forth. So you might be asking yourself, what are microgreens? Why are we excited about microgreens? Basically, what microgreens are is you get seeds. It's the same seed that you would use to grow a full-size plant. However, you stop the growing process when they're just sprouting. The reason you do that is because when your seedlings are small, they're hyper packed with nutrients. So you get, I guess it's just more bang for your buck. Another thing that is exciting about it is most of these seedlings will be ready to harvest in 1 to 2 weeks. So it's a much faster process. And then you can start growing them again. Another thing that I'm hoping to do once I get this down a little bit better is to, oh gosh, what's the word? I can't remember the word. Succession planning. Yep, I knew I'd get there. So I wanted to do that. That way I always have microgreens as opposed to, okay, we've got them this week. We ate them all. We got to wait another week, however that works. So there's a lot of things for me to play around with as far as timing and types of seeds and hydroponic versus soil, but I'm super excited to get into the process with you. I'm going to read the directions, get everything set up, and then I'll meet you back at the table. Okay, everyone, so what I just showed you in that video was testing your water pH to see if it's too acidic or too alkaline. What you saw with mine was it was a little bit too alkaline, so I just added a little bit of lemon juice into the water that I'm gonna be filling these with. What we're gonna do here is first you have your tray without holes in it. With this tray, you're gonna add 1 cup of water. Next, we're gonna put in the sectional trays. So now you can see, I hope, the water starting to come through on here. And since the bamboo pads are absorbent, they'll start to draw the water up from the bottom as well. So let me show you. These are the bamboo pads. You get a whole fat stack of them. These trays are multi-use. The pads are not. However, you can toss these in the compost once you're done. So I'm going to put 1 pad in each of my sections. Just going to press them all down a little bit to make sure the process gets started for all of them. And all of this is on this handy dandy instruction sheet. Okay, so we filled the water, we placed in the pads. Now we need to put 2/3 teaspoon of seed over each mat. And you know, normally I'm not a fan of really precise measurements, but in this case, I'm gonna do it. So I'll probably put you guys on fast forward with some music and I'm gonna get going. All right, guys, I spread all the seeds. Let me show you what it looks like. So you just want to spread them nice and evenly as you can. Won't be perfect. But hey, if we were perfect, life would be boring and we'd have nothing to learn. Now I'm going to give these an even spray. You want to make sure they're nice and moist so that you're initiating their germination. And we're actually going to be placing on top of this the other tray that does not have any holes in it, because you want to mimic the way that they generally start their journey as seedlings, which is in the dark soil. I mean, just like babies, right? They're in the darkness of our wombs. I just think it's such a cool connection. Now we want to put them in an area that's room temperature. I'm going to put mine in my guest room. We're going to uncover and mist the seeds 1 or 2 times a day. And then when the sprouts take root, we're going to remove the tray and then continue watering as needed. So you will continue watering with just the spray bottle. The underneath watering is just at the beginning, okay? I suppose if they still seem too dry, you could put some water underneath it, but you want to avoid rot from too much humidity and wetness. So now I'm going to go ahead and put it in my guest room. I will see you in a few days to take a peek at how they look. Hey, it's me again. One thing I wanted to hit on before I put these in the guest room is cost. So I've noticed that when you go to a natural grocer's and you look at their microgreens section, you're getting, you know, about this size container, which is maybe a few ounces of microgreens, and it's usually $5 to $6. So here I have each one of the sections is probably one of those containers of microgreens. I spent $75 on this whole kit. It is multi-use, so I'll be able to use it 6 times. I did a little bit of math. I know, but I did a little bit of math, and that ends up taking you from about $6 or $7 to about $1.50, which is a pretty sweet deal. Plus, once we're done with these seeds, we can still continue to reuse the trays. So we'll only have to purchase more seeds and more hydroponic mats. So it'll get even cheaper. Pretty sweet. I just wanted to say, side note, I've gotten in this habit of kind of cleaning up the immediate area around me from where I'm going to be filming. But I know that I myself sometimes watch YouTube and I'm like, man, these people have it together. And I don't want you to think that about me because that's just too much pressure. So I'm going to show you my living room. I feel better now. Okay, I just wanted to show you the seeds. This is after a couple of days. So you see they're going to be yellow like this because they haven't been exposed to the sun, and the sun is what gives them that nice green color from photosynthesis. So this is actually looking okay. You can see they're starting to germinate and sprout up, and overall we are totally cool with how they're looking right now. Here is the day that I put them out in the sun. So this is about when you want to expose them to the sun. And stay tuned because pretty soon I'm going to show you the finished product, and they're going to be looking awesome, guys. All right. Today, I am so excited to present to you my microgreens. Before I show them to you, let me just remind you of a few things. It has been exactly a week since I started this process. So that means some of them, honestly, most of them are about ready for harvest. This is a learning process for me. It's the first time I've done it. So I've been tasting some of the microgreens daily to check out their flavor and see if they seem ready to go. Some of them I think are more ready to go than others. Some have already gotten a little top heavy and are getting a little droopy. Some are just right. Some seem like they could use a few more days. So what I've been doing is, since I took the lid off, I've had them in a sunny south-facing window with some grow lights as well. I've been spraying them with my spray bottle 1 to 2 times a day. And there's one time where I even did add more water, about a cup and a half of water to the base of the tray. If you're wondering, how do I know if I'm watering too much or not enough? I think the best way is to look at the plants. You want them to be nice and springy, full, firm, if you will. If they're droopy, they need a little more water. If they seem dry, well, let me say this, if the pads, the hydroponic pads, because remember this is a hydroponic tray, seem dry, then they definitely need a little more water. So let me show them to you without any further ado. Okay, here is my tray, and I'm referencing my paper. So we have the purple radish. That one's, that's how I'm figuring it out, because that one's the easiest to find. Okay, so here we have the broccoli. The broccoli is actually doing really well. It's gotten a little top heavy, so I'm gonna harvest this one today. This is the purple radish. It's doing well also. I think it looks a little scarce, or like the germination wasn't good, but that's because the seeds are bigger, so there's a lot fewer of them. So it's just more spread out. But those ones are doing pretty well also. This is the spicy mix, which is doing great. This one could probably hang on for another day or two while I harvest the ones that really, really need it. This is the basic mix, which is the other one I'm gonna go ahead and harvest today because it's starting to get a little top heavy. Here we have the arugula. I hope you could see this. Here we have the arugula. It's looking nice and springy and ready to go anytime over the next few days. The superfood mix, which looks awesome, the mustard seed, and the kale. So I think the mustard seed and the kale are probably the two I'm the least happy with. The mustard seed just didn't have an awesome germination rate, and neither did the kale, but I'm gonna give them a few more days to see if maybe they just take longer. All of your seed packets will always have germination rates on them. So if you're wondering, is it time? Do I need to wait more? That's the best place to look. Okay, so how do you harvest superfoods? It's super easy. All you need are some scissors and something to put them in. So I'm putting them in this glass bowl, and then I'll put a lid on it, keep them in the fridge, and then use them throughout my day. Sprinkle them on my morning eggs, sprinkle them on my veggies, mix them with maybe some apple cider vinegar and olive oil, a little bit of salt, and just have a superfood salad. You could also mix them in smoothies. But anyways, I could go on and on. When you're harvesting these, you just want to get a pair of scissors or some clippers or small pruning shears and get as close to the root as possible. So I'm going to do my mix over here. I also just had an idea. I'm wondering if I could just pull out the pad, because remember the hydroponic pads you can compost them, but you don't reuse them. Look, so there they are right there. And then I'm just gonna cut them into my bowl like this. Oh yeah, that's a lot easier. I'm hoping my kids will be into these because they're little, and I feel like kids like little things, but you never know. I've been doing something with my kids called plant points that I heard on a podcast I listened to. So anything they try that is a fresh fruit or vegetable or lightly steamed counts as a plant point throughout the day. So their goal right now is to get 5 plant points a day. And as time goes on, hopefully we'll get up to like 10. That would be ideal. But even if they just do this plant point, that's good. A little bit lemony, zesty. I'm really excited to get to use these. I hope that this video was helpful for you. Please like or comment below. Also, if you have any suggestions for things that I could be doing better, I'd love to hear it. Okay, have a good one, everybody. Bye.